We're going to begin the program here in a few minutes, and we're going to start with the awards program. And I'm going to introduce Dr. Michelle Pugnair, who is the Professor Emeritus of the Educational Affairs Office at UMass, and has been a long-standing member of Worcester District Medical Society and a real advocate and booster and contributor. For the last close to quarter of a century, she has been has chaired our scholarship committee and leads us all efficiently through this extraordinarily well, and is always keeping her eye on not just the financial ball, but what this is all about. And so I want to let her finish her last bite of dinner and then welcome her up to the podium to kick off this portion of the evening. Michelle, are you ready? Yeah. All right.
I have to save room for dessert.
We'll save you some.
Okay. All right. Now Dale told me I had to lean in. Can you hear me? You ought to see what I'm talking into. It looks like a fake piece of a mink coat. It's this little black thing. But I hope I'm reaching you back at the room there's okay. I think this is one of the biggest audiences we've had, but maybe I've been on Zoom too long because you can only put so many of those photos in your, whatever your gallery view. We'd probably need like 10 galleries to get you all in there. But I want to thank Giles for his very generous comments. And I want to start out by saying it's about time that we're back together again. It's 2019 when we were last here. And I think if you had polled anyone in the group and we said, well, we're not going to see each other for another 4 years, you wouldn't have believed it. But we survived COVID. And so did the scholarship fund. And one of the best things about being here is to see how great everybody looks in 3D and up close. And the students take lovely photos. You will be seeing them. But in person, they're even better. So it's going to be a really wonderful night for us to celebrate being together and to finally meet the students that we've been giving awards to for the past 4 years. So, and many of them are here this evening, and some of them are even here with their families. So it'll be a wonderful night together. But in the time of celebration, there are also some moments that we need to reflect on. And it's those whom we have lost in the past year, who we know would have been here if they could have. And while they are no longer here with us in person, they remain with us in spirit and in our hearts. And they are Dr. Ed Amaral, and Mr. David Williams. I will say a few words about each, and following that, a brief moment of silence to remember them. Dr. Ed Amaral was a WDMS member since 1966 and president from 1996 to 1997. He served on multiple committees, including the Scholarship Committee, from 2005 to 2019. And he was the sponsor of the Amaral Family Book Award, which is also going to be awarded this evening. So we thank you, Ed, and we're here with you. Dr. David Williams was associated with the WDMS as a financial advisor from 2001 to 2018. He co-sponsored the Joyce Cariglia and David Williams Book Award since 2017. And both Joyce and David retired in 2018. And Joyce will be with us here this evening to present that award. So let's just pause for a moment of silence, honor and remember them both. hard because there's two to remember, but we can always reflect on them as well in other venues tonight. But let's move on. And a little bit of history about why we're here tonight that I think David Williams and Dr. Amawad would really appreciate. And that is recognizing where our excellence is in our profession and how we stand in the shadows of those that we admire and how that elevates all of us. So we recognize these individuals and we award them this recognition. So for the first part of the evening tonight, we are going to start at the beginning of the pipeline, where we're reaching into where we were when we were medical students and giving our medical students the opportunity to shine and for us to share and celebrate their accomplishments as they will be, and the nursing students as well that we're recognizing tonight, the next generation that's going to be taking care of all of us and also recognizing each other for excellence. But it doesn't happen on its own. We don't pull this process together magically. There is a lot of work behind the scenes that goes on, and first and foremost, it is the scholarship committee, the 14 members of the scholarship committee who really bring the scholarships to you by vetting the applicants, which is no easy task. And I want to recognize them all this evening for their hard work and dedication. And I got to say, we work hard, but we always have a great and rewarding experience at the end of these meetings. So I'm not sure if you're here tonight, but if you are, please stand, and at the end, we'll give you all a round of applause. First is Dr. Kenneth Kronlund, our trustee. Could you stand, Ken? Dr. Janet Abrahamian. Janet, I know you're out there. I saw you. Dr. Robert Bassett. Dr. Susan George. Dr. Rebecca Kowaloff, Dr. Heidi Leftwich, Dr. Jane Lockery, Dr. Susan Moran, Dr. Alex Newberry, Dr. Nitin Trivedi, Dr. Carl Wee, Dr. Bennett Vogt, Dr. Martha Waite, and Giles Whalen, yet another hat that Giles wears. Give them all a round of applause and thank them for their work. Thank you. Yep. Thank you. And a warm welcome to, we have two new members this year. Dr. Bennett Vogt just graduated. He's a resident here at UMass and Med-Peds, and Dr. Wee. And special acknowledgments we have to extend to Dr. Kronlund, our fund trustee. He's an internist at Reliant Medical Group and has served as trustee for the Scholarship Fund since 2001. So, Ken, thank you for your service all those years. And of course, Martha, and I don't know where Martha is, oh, right behind me, perfect. And Melissa, who really keep us all on track and reach out to the students and answer every question. Whenever a student gets an email and Melissa picks it up 5 minutes later, I get it in the next 5 minutes. So any delay is not due to Melissa, it's due to me. Thank you both. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to begin the scholarship program awards, but I'm going to just give you a little preview and a few words about the scholarship application process so you understand where we're coming from. The overall point of the awards is merit, and in merit we consider the financial need of applicants and their engagement in community service. And these are competitive awards. So each candidate provides a personal statement, transcripts, letters of recommendation, and there is an interview with one member of the committee so we can get to know them personally. And I can tell you that when we're all around the table making the decisions about allocation of these scholarships, it is no easy task, but our committee always prevails. And tonight we have 15 truly outstanding recipients who represent a diversity of highly accomplished students. They hail from Central Mass and represent medical schools and osteopathic schools locally and nationally. And you will see their photos displayed on the screen, and they will be coming up tonight to accept their awards. And we're also fortunate to have a number of the award sponsors with us tonight who will be awarding them those awards. But I do have a few ground rules for the students tonight and for the audience. So for the students, as I call your name and ask you to come forward, just mosey on up here, and you will receive your award. But as you do so, I will be reading your bios, and I can't, if your audience is clapping, we won't hear the wonderful bios. So members of the audience, you must reserve your urge to clap until the student is up here, and then you can clap all you want. And once students have received their awards, there will be a photo shoot with the award sponsor. And then please stay up here because we're going to have you all together at the end for one big group picture. So without any further ado, it's now my pleasure to present to you the 2023 scholarship recipients. All are exceptional, so enjoy getting to know each of them and stay inspired. You can follow along in your brochure as well, and all the names are listed in there. And I think the awards as well that they're getting tonight. Okay, so we're going to start with the Worcester District Medical Society Scholarships Awards that are sponsored by the WDMS and its members and its supporters. Many of you are here this evening. Thank you for your support that makes these scholarships possible. Our first award is the Dr. Burt Gutterman Scholarship Award, and our recipient is Allison Chevalier, class of 2024, at the New York Institute of Technology, College of Osteopathic Medicine. Allison is not available to join us this evening, but we do send her our congratulations. But let me share a few words about Allison so you can get to know her. She's a fourth-year student from Southbridge, and after attending Boston College, she continued her journey at NYITCOM, the abbreviation for her school. Through her time in a harm reduction center, she has developed a passion for working with patients struggling with substance abuse, and she is pursuing a career in pain management, which I'm sure we're all thrilled to hear. What a wonderful choice. She is grateful for the support of the WDMS and the Scholarship Committee as the recipient of the Burt Gutterman Scholarship Award over the past 3 years. So let's give her a hand, wherever you are, Allison. We recognize you. Next, we are presenting the Dr. Sanfrey Lillestrom Scholarship Award to Tara Hebert, class of 2024 at the University of New England College of Osteopathic Medicine. Tara is also not able to join us this evening, but we do send her our congratulations. Both Tara and Allison are fourth-year students, so they're now immersed in planning ahead for their residency programs, and we wish them all the best in their match. And hopefully maybe they'll come to Worcester to join us. But a few words about Tara. Tara grew up in Fitchburg, completed her undergrad degree at Boston College before moving to Dublin, Ireland, to pursue her MPH at the University College in Dublin. She is pursuing a residency in OBGYN. Congratulations to Tara. Yes. Okay. The third Worcester District Medical Society Award is the Dr. Julius Tegelberg Scholarship Award, and our recipient is Brianna Chamberlain, class of 2026 at the University of New England College of Osteopathic Medicine. Bree, will you please step forward? And as you do, I'm going to read your bio. Bree is a lifelong Bellingham resident and a second-year medical student at Unicom. She received her Bachelor's of Science from the University of Massachusetts Amherst in 2020 and is currently interested in pursuing a career focused on women's health. Congratulations, Bree.
Thank you.
Now, you have a long wait, but we can sit over there. Thanks. We should put some chairs up here. Okay. And then our fourth WDMS award is this is going to warm all our hearts, the Dr. Leonard J. Moore Scholarship Award that is being awarded to Ariana Gray, class of 2024 at the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. Ariana, please come forward as I read your bio. Ariana is an MS-OMS4, and she calls herself a proud Worcesterite who is interested in patient advocacy and increasing healthcare access in marginalized communities. She is eager to rejoin her community, hoping to have a positive impact in the place that raised her. In her downtime, she enjoys gardening, reading historical fiction, and playing with her nieces. Finally, she expresses her most sincere gratitude to the WDMS Medical Society, whose continued support has made navigating medical school more manageable. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to give you that. That's the check. Thank you. And that's the award. And you enjoy Brie over there, have a little conversation. Okay. So, let's see. Okay, page 2. So now, we're going to turn our attention to two Herbert E. Nieberg's Scholarship Awards. And we have 2 to present tonight. Our first recipient is Arpin Bose, class of 2025 at UMass Chan Medical School. Arpin can't join us today, but his mom, Sahana Bose, is here tonight, and she will be accepting the award on his behalf. Also joining us at the podium will be Ms. Carmen Carmona, who is representing the International Society for Preventive Oncology Foundation that was established by Dr. Nieberg's, and that now offers these scholarships in his name. So Carmen, please come up, and Sahana, please come up, and I will give you you can do it all by yourself. Thank you, Sahana. You're going to stay right here because you're the second one. Sahana, right over there with the students. You get to be a student tonight. So we have a second Nieberg's Award. And the second recipient is Vanan Pham, class of 2026 at UMass Chan Medical School. So, oh, wait a minute. I forgot to name, did I remember the bio on Arpin? I didn't give the bio on Arpin, did I? I have to give Arpin's bio because it's a wonderful bio. They're all good, but this one's very good. Arpin is a third-year medical student at UMass who was born and raised in Worcester. From the L&D rooms in Memorial, where he was born, to attending high school and now medical school here, he says that the city runs through my veins. Thank you. All right. So now we have Carmen here, and come on up, Vanan, and I'll read your bio as you come up. Vanan is a second-year medical student at UMass Chan who proudly calls Worcester County her home, and she earned her Bachelor's of Science from Brandeis University. She contributes to her community as Vice President of the Asian Pacific American Medical Student Association chapter and the leader of the Art for the Physician elective. Congratulations to you both, Rana and Carmen. You can go back and sit down if you want. We'll call you up later. Okay. All right. So now we will present the Dr. Lillian A. Luxus Scholarship Award. And the recipient of this award is Denai Alexandru, class of 2025 at Loyola University Chicago Stritch School of Medicine. Denai can't be here tonight, but we have with us this evening Dr. Diane Karalekis, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Denai's mother, who will be accepting the award on Denai's behalf. So, Dr. Karalekis, please join me at the podium while I say a few words about Denai that I'm sure will make you a very proud parent. Denai is a third-year student at Stritch School of Medicine who embraces Chicagoland through her passion for public health, volunteer work for the uninsured, and a hospital initiative showcasing community artwork. Her journey has combined medicine, community, and creativity in a wonderful blend of care and compassion. Though she cannot make it here today with her surgery exam on Friday, she's honored to have her mother accept the award on her behalf. She's smiling, so take my glasses off, and here's the check. Don't lose it. I won't.
Thank you very much. Do I stand over there?
If you want to stand over there, and
should I
talk
just
to
sit?
some other parents up there. Okay. So, moving on. So now, we are going to present 3 scholarships. And these are the scholarships that are sponsored by our local healthcare organizations. And we are indeed fortunate in central Massachusetts to have such generous healthcare organizations that have been staunch supporters of our scholarship program year to year, and we thank them deeply. And many of the representatives from our healthcare organizations are here this evening to celebrate with us. The first award is the Dr. Samuel Pickens Scholarship Award, sponsored by UMass Memorial Healthcare. And our recipient is Sarah E. Becker, class of 2024 at UMass Chan Medical School. Joining us tonight to present the award to Sarah is Dr. Stephen Tosi, who is representing UMass Memorial Healthcare. So Dr. Tosi and Sarah, if you could both make your way to the podium, and I'll say a few words about Sarah. She's a fourth-year medical student at UMass Chan, originally from Holden. After attending Smith College, Sarah worked at Dana-Farber, where she developed her passion for patient education and advocacy, as well as clinical research. At UMass, she's been involved in community outreach and research projects within the Worcester community, and she's now applying for a residency in internal medicine. Congratulations. Next is an unusual but well-deserved award, which is 2 awards to 1 recipient. So the 2 awards are as follows: the Dr. M. Elizabeth Fletcher Scholarship Award, given by Reliant Medical Group, and the Joyce Cariglia and David Williams Book Award. And both are being awarded to Raquel Bitar, class of 2025 at UMass Chan Medical School. Joining us tonight to present the award, the book award for Joyce Cariglia and David Williams, is none other than Joyce Cariglia. So Joyce and Raquel, please come up here, and I'll say a few words about you, Raquel, as you're making your way to the podium. Raquel is a third-year medical student at UMass Chan. She attended Wachusett Regional High School and went on to study microbiology and anthropology at UMass Amherst. During her gap year, she worked as a medical scribe in family medicine at the Hahnemann Family Health Center and volunteered as guardian ad litem for children in foster care. At UMass Chan, she's continued developing relationships in her community as part of the Women's Caucus, the Medical Education Committee, and delegate through WDMS, and as a mentor through Mentors for Young Mothers, and as a medical student advisor for the UMass Scribe Fellowship Program for underrepresented college students. Congratulations to Raquel. So, the checks. More than one. And we have 2 awards. I don't know how you're going to do this. Why don't you give one to Raquel and have one picture with that?
Oh, I see.
These are both for you.
Sure.
Do you have a big wall? Do you have it? Turn, you can, so why don't you put that there so we can see? There you go.
Why don't you go with that?
Yeah. And then what I'll do is I'll slip in here. Oh, that was the wrong one. This is the curricular one. That's okay. Thank you. There you go. Okay. Our third award from the healthcare organizations in central Massachusetts is the David H. Spodek Memorial Scholarship Award, sponsored by two entities, St. Vincent Hospital and the St. Vincent Hospital medical staff. And our recipient is Natasha Batar. And yes, she is the sister of Raquel. But Natasha can't join us this evening. But her sister Raquel is here and will be accepting the award on Natasha's behalf. This hardly ever happens, so I don't think it'll happen again. And to present the awards, we have Dr. George Abraham from the St. Vincent Medical Staff, and Dr. Michelle Sinopoli representing St. Vincent Hospital. If you could both come up to the podium, and you're going to have to come back, Raquel. But you only have to give one. But you have two people.
Did you read her bio?
Yeah.
Michelle, did you read her bio?
Oh, and I'm going to read your bio. Oh, I forgot to read Natasha's bio. So as you're waiting up here to pose, Natasha is in her third year at UMass Chan Medical School and went to UMass Amherst for undergrad and Wachusett Regional for high school. She spent her gap years working in infectious disease research at Mass General. Born in Worcester, she is grateful to give back opportunities to serve the local community through the Worcester Free Clinic, the Worcester Asylum Clinic, teaching English to refugees through RAP, and mentoring Worcester State pre-med students. Congratulations to Natasha. Here you go. Okay. So our final set of awards for the program tonight are our book awards. We have 5 of those to give out this evening. Our first book award is the Dr. Sidney P. Kadish Book Award, and it is being presented to Margaret Desmond, class of 2025, at Loyola University of Chicago Stritch School of Medicine. Margaret cannot join us this evening, but we have Debbie Desmond here tonight, her mom, to accept the award on Margaret's behalf. So please, Debbie, join me at the podium, along with Dr. Kadish, and I will read you the bio of Margaret as you move forward. Margaret is a third-year student at Stritch School of Medicine with an interest in preventive medicine and rural health. She conducts research on the relationships between cardiometabolic disease outcomes and short-chain fatty acids, and on increasing colon cancer screening in underinsured communities. She runs a program known as the Free Farmers Markets that distribute donated produce to the Stritch students and the Maywood community. She's also a TA for the osteopathic manipulative medicine elective. Congratulations to Margaret. Next, we have the Judd Klein Book Award, which is sponsored by Physicians Insurance. And our recipient tonight is Samantha Kalazewski, class of 2026 at UMass Chan Medical School. So there's no one here tonight from Physicians Insurance. So I will be presenting you with the award, Samantha. So if you come forward, I will read your bio. Samantha is currently a second-year student at UMass Chan, originally from Dudley. Samantha graduated cum laude from Boston College in 2021 with a Bachelor of Science in Biology and a minor in the humanities. Come forward. Right. Our next award is the Dr. Edward Amaral Family Book Award. And our recipient this evening is Rebecca Nitschel, class of 2026 at UMass Chan Medical School. And joining us to present the Amaral Family Book Award is Mrs. Marcia Amaral. Rebecca and Marcia, would you please come forward? And as you do, I'll read a few words about Rebecca. She grew up in Acton and graduated from Acton-Boxborough Regional High School in 2017. She attended the University of Michigan and majored in biochemistry and Spanish, and she's now a second-year student at UMass Chan, volunteers with mentoring in the community, the Worcester Free Clinics, and Marie's Mission, among other things. Congratulations, Rebecca. Next, we have the John A. Routh Book Award, and this is sponsored by Milford Regional Medical Center. And our recipient is Michael Pepin, class of 2026 at UMass Chan. Michael, I'll be presenting the award to you since we don't have a representative from Milford here this evening. But as you come forward, I'll read your bio. Michael is a second-year medical student at UMass Chan, originally from Douglas. Before coming to medical school, he served a year-long term at AmeriCorps at the Rhode Island Free Clinic, followed by another gap year working with the Road to Caring, helping individuals experiencing homelessness and substance use disorders. Congratulations, Michael. And our final recipient this evening is receiving 2 book awards. And the first book award is the Paulette Griffin Pugnair Book Award, in honor of my mother, and the Passy Family Book Award. Our recipient is Aishwarya Khanna, class of 2026 at UMass Chan. And joining us this evening is Dr. Sadev and Karlin Passy, who will be joining us at the podium to present the award. So if you could all come forward, and I'll read a few words about Aishwarya. She's a second-year student at UMass Chan, grew up in Shrewsbury, and attended Brandeis for her undergraduate degree in public health, neuroscience, and biology. She is passionate about community-centered approaches to improving health quality, and she enjoys traveling, reading, and yoga during her free time. Whatever free time you have, right? Okay, thank you all, and congratulations. So I'm going to give this to the 2 checks are in the same envelope? Okay, so I'm going to give this to Sadev and Carolyn. I don't know how you want to do this, but however you want to do it. So, thank you, Sadev and Carolyn. So that concludes the scholarship awards for tonight's programs for the students of School of Medicine. So please join me in a final round of applause for all of them. So with the close of the medical student scholarship presentation this evening, I'm now honored to introduce Mrs. Paula Madison for the Alliance Scholarship presentation. She's been active in the Alliance for over 30 years, serving as the district president from 1998 to 99, as well as a state president from 2013 to 14. A warm welcome to you, Paula. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Pugnair. Can you hear me at the back? That's okay. It is my honor to represent the Alliance members in awarding our nursing scholarship this evening. Thank you. Historically, there's always history, right? Historically, the Women's Auxiliary of the Worcester District Medical Society, we held back then formal white cap balls as fundraising events for nursing students in the late 1950s and early 60s. At our display table in the back of the room, we have historical newspaper clippings that document these events. And also on loan from Mrs. Dorothy O'Connor, we have displayed her woolen nurse's cape from the 1950s when she was a student at Georgetown University. Mrs. O'Connor was an inspiration for her daughter, Sheila Mazzarelli, and her granddaughter, Jamie Mazzarelli, to choose a career in nursing. So, in the 1990s, we had a name change to Worcester District Medical Society Alliance. At that time, our nursing scholarship was supported by other fundraising events such as fashion shows and silent auctions. Most recently, we hosted a very successful fundraiser for our scholarship with guest speaker Dr. Judith Sumner, an ethnobotanist. She was a fascinating and enlightening speaker. Thank you to all who attended the September event and to all of our donors over the past year. So in 2022, Karlin and Dr. Sadhiv Passy established the Passy Family Nursing Scholarship Award in honor and recognition of the many nursing professionals in the Passy family. We are very grateful for this perpetual contribution to our scholarship. Did Karlin come up? Karlin, do you want to come up? Karlin's going to present our award tonight. So our BSN Scholarship Award is given to a student of high academic achievement who demonstrates involvement in community service and has been highly recommended by an instructor from the nursing program. So this year, our award is being given to Macy Bridge. Macy will, Macy will graduate in 2025 from Fitchburg State University. Macy credits her inspiration to choose a career in nursing to her teachers and the nurses of the Health Occupations program at Monty Tech High School. Macy understood the importance of volunteering for her community at a young age, both as a member of the National Honor Society and currently as in a leadership role as president of the Student Nurses Association at Fitchburg University. She also volunteers as a peer tutor for pathopharmacology. Macy wishes to continue her education soon after graduation to become a professor to inspire future healthcare workers. Congratulations, Macy. No, that's okay. Oh, so Macy, again, good luck, congratulations. May your rewards be many for the compassion that you will share with your patients and their families in your nursing career. Thank you. Okay. And now, I must make an important introduction. Dr. Michael Hirsch wished to provide me with his long CV, and I said, He is a professor of surgery, assistant vice provost for wellness and health promotion at UMass Chan Medical School. And although he wears many caps, baseball caps, hats, for the WDMS, this evening we call him to the podium as the chair of the Worcester District Medical Society Awards Committee. Michael?
I think everybody can agree that so far the scholarship program this is a little bit on the other end of the career spectrum. We're honoring some wonderful physicians that have made amazing contributions to the wellness of our community. So I feel this is kind of combining a lot of my interest to be chairing the awards committee. The awards committee is a very hardworking committee. Of course, Melissa and Martha make it a lot easier. They get everybody together, and we see all the nominations, and they're always amazing nominations that we have to choose from. So I would like to take a minute just to honor the members of our membership of our awards committee. So I'm going to call out your name, and if you're here, please stand up, and then we'll give you a round of applause. Past President Dr. Fred Baker, Dr. Bob Bissett, Marianne Felice. I thought I saw you before. Of course, one of our honorees, Bruce Karlin. He had nothing to do with his own award. Dr. Jane Lockery, Dr. Michelle Pugnair, who you know very well, Dr. Justin Makel of UMass Colon and Rectal Surgery, and Dr. Abhijit Rochaudhary. Thank you very much. Please give them a round of applause. So our first award is special because of the recipient, and I think all of the recipients should know that the turnout we have today is a direct function of the popularity of the recipients. And we love it. We love it. This is exactly what we love. So this is actually the 30th annual A. Jane Fitzpatrick Community Service Award, and it's being given to Bruce Karlin. And I just want to read you a little bit about Dr. A. Jane Fitzpatrick. This was an award that was established in 1991 and is given annually by the Worcester District Medical Society as a tribute to her legacy of service. She practiced medicine from 1945 to 1985, 40 years, and was a member of the medical staffs of Hahnemann, where she served as chief of pediatrics, Worcester City and St. Vincent's Hospital, and was an assistant professor of pediatrics at UMass Medical School. They wrote Chan in there, but there was no Chan then. Sorry. And then she served for the Worcester Department of Public Health for 45 years as a school physician and consultant about pediatric illness and immunization. So the Fitzpatrick Award is recognizing a member of the healthcare community for contributions beyond their professional duties to improve the health and well-being of others. And Dr. Karlin had Dr. Lou Faison and Jim Cousins as his sponsors, with lots of supporting folks that chimed in, and obviously there's few people I can imagine more deserving. I just want to say from my standpoint that the recognition that Bruce had of the importance of media in trying to get public health messages across to our public at large, I think was way ahead of its time, and I don't think that this community would be the same without those kind of messaging. So I'm very appreciative of that. So I'm going to ask Dr. Faison to come up and do his introductions.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Mike. Thank you very much, Michael Hirsch. Yeah, Louis Faison, and I'm here tonight, and I'm very pleased to be here tonight to introduce you to Dr. Bruce Karlin, who's the recipient, as you heard, of the A.J. Jane Fitzpatrick Community Service Award. It's, we decided to get together about 2 weeks ago, have breakfast, and prep for this meeting tonight. So, and what really impressed me the most about that whole encounter with Bruce, it was one-on-one, was his heartfelt exuberance about the people that he worked with in the community. It was about the people, and it was also about the projects that he worked on, but he felt that this experience outside of the office added immensely to his total life experience and his role as a physician. And he's going to tell you more about that tonight. So, things that surprised me, who would have known that he's a violin player and he plays with a symphony orchestra in central Massachusetts. And he also helped on the management of that, on the board for the symphony orchestra. Who would have known that he's spent about 20 years supporting town governance. And if you live outside of the metropolitan areas, you know that our smaller towns run with volunteers who work with staff who run the various committees of a town. And Bruce was on the finance committee, the main committee for his town in Hopkinton, and chairman for a number of years. And he's been the moderator of the town of Hopkinton. Now that's the annual meeting, the one meeting a year when people get together and argue over budgets and who gets the money and is it going to police or the teachers or the health department. And so that is always in these towns a very trusted, respected position to be the moderator for that annual town meeting because it has to be run fairly for everybody in attendance. I think we've heard a bit about his health literacy projects with over 200 programs that were filmed for TV and presented throughout hundreds of cable networks. He also was picked up by the Massachusetts Medical Society to do another 100 interviews on important health matters. It was called Health Matters, but important health matters. And along the way, he also mentioned a couple important role models for him. And I'm going to mention those, just two of those tonight, although there are probably many more. But as you may know that Dr. Karlin was in the third class to be admitted to UMass Medical School. And one of his professors, Dr. Hugh Fulmer, who's sitting a little bit back on the right side, was a mentor to him from those years, all those years through medical school and residency. And it turned out that Dr. Fulmer offered a lot to him and helped him in many aspects of his career as he developed, because Dr. Fulmer was in public health and was a professor at the med school. His other mentor was Dr. Leonard Morris, who he joined in the practice of medicine in Worcester. And I don't think I have to say too much about Dr. Morris, but basically just the clinician, the doctor's doctor, and also the director of public health for many years in Worcester. So he had tremendous mentors as well as he was on this voyage to augment his career with community service. And also Jim Cousins is going to give you a little more details on some of these in the next video that he has. I want to just add, while I have the podium today, a couple comments about Jane Fitzpatrick. As a pediatrician, I got to know her a lot better in the community. I worked with her for a number of years, not necessarily in her practice, but at Hanneman and some of the various hospitals in town. And she was just in a class by herself. Not only was she one of very, very few women physicians in town, but she was raising a family, she was running a pediatric practice, and yet she was still involved in many organizations in the community that you've heard about from Dr. Hirsch. A lot were for infants and children, but if there was a problem with immunizations or nutrition, that was Dr. Fitzpatrick. She was right there. So she accomplished a lot, and she had a great personality to go with that as she went about town, and she loved her work. And Dr. Karlin is a perfect fit for this award. And so I'm very happy to introduce him. I want to just mention in closing that I was sitting with Joyce Cariglia, and Joyce was our executive director at the time that this award was presented. It was started 30 years ago. And it takes a lot of work to have a meeting like this with everybody happy and seated well and enjoying the program. And I think I'd like to have we have three really great personnel in our office: Martha, Melissa, who's here somewhere, and Joyce Cariglia, who've held the fort down for the last 30 years. Thank you. So, thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Jim Cousins. I think all he has to do is press a button, maybe? He has a video he wants to show.
The hour having arrived, a quorum being present, we are ready to begin annual town meeting of 2006 of Hopkinton. In this program, we'll talk about the best ways to avoid getting bitten by a tick that may be carrying Lyme disease, and what to do if a tick does bite you. Well, what we're going to talk about tonight, and you are as good an expert as there is to be had, is colorectal cancer screening. And we'll start by asking you a few questions. What are we screening for?
What we're screening for are polyps, because polyps, certain types of polyps, eventually will become cancers.
Well, I think what you're asking an item of process, and that process is in place. That's what the planning board does all the time. But that kind of process that you're now describing, I don't think it's sort of like asking for all the particulars of a motion when all you've got is the broad outline of it. I'm sort of at sea as to what you mean by a contingent article. So what will a doctor typically do at this stage? How will they nail down the diagnosis, and what do we need to know?
The doctor will listen to the story. The time of year is important because this is something that usually occurs in the summer.
So you're saying that the major issue with cancer screening are the ones common to men and women, but it's the men's reluctance or diffidence about getting a screening or getting their care that blocks some of this from getting done right.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
So what about the specific peculiar to male problems?
Well, we have...
What about prostate?
Right, so we
screening?
have prostate cancer, and the problem with prostate cancer screening is that to this date, we really don't have a good screen.
Thank you for this award. I'm honored to even be considered with these previous winners. Indeed, it's an honor simply to practice medicine. My proudest achievement is being a member of the community of practicing physicians. You all deserve recognition for your mundane daily routine. So what does our community of physicians recognize as outstanding? Few physicians have as loyal and ardent a following as Dr. Pitts or Dr. Barbera, but that is all the reward they seek. Dr. Fulmer created the community medicine department at UMass and was pivotal in the creation of UMass, and Dr. Popkin raised the residency program at St. Vincent Hospital to national prominence. For their level of work, we rightly give a Lifetime Achievement Award. The A. Jane Fitzpatrick Award is for contributions beyond professional duties to improve the health and well-being of others. In other words, we recognize spare time, health-related activities that strike a chord with our physician community. I have several activities to consider: my family, my Thursday evening college Zoom group, my Sunday morning breakfast club, my orchestra, my St. Vincent Hospital colleagues, and most importantly, WDMS. These mean the world to me. We help each other without question. Breakfast Club members Paul and Guy helped my orchestra simply because I asked them. In Guy's case, it may have been payback for serving on the Foothills Theater Board when he was president. My escapades in the art community were hardly altruistic. I got far more than I gave. When Lou Faison nominated me, I presumed it was for my video work. He asked me, and I gave this brief history. In the 1990s, Jim Cousins talked me into doing a cable show in Hopkinton. We called it One More Thing. For a couple of years, we did a bunch of bi-weekly shows on medical topics. I was impressed that our content with local physicians was better than what appeared on national news. Our first show with Stu Jaffe on erectile dysfunction predated national discussions of the topic. There's some interesting things that happened on that first show. Just as an aside, when we turned on the lights, the palm tree that we had, the plastic palm tree that we had in the back, and Stu, of course, made some pithy comment. Did we keep that, Jim? Yeah, you couldn't find that. That was someplace in the archives. But we had other shows that were innovative: biological weapons, PTSD, to name two. Jim cut back to be Mr. Mom, and my video career was on hold. Then Joyce Coriglia and Bill Primack asked me to run the WDMS Public Relations Committee. I jumped at the opportunity to restart my video career. No, okay. Joyce enlisted WCCA TV, and we started Health Matters. The best part is that it is no longer mine. It is now part of the fabric of WDMS. Linda Young, Jay Broadhurst, Mike Hirsch, Fred Baker, and others now host the show. Melissa Boucher produces. Our guests enjoyed the extracurricular opportunity to help the health and well-being of the community. We tried unsuccessfully to get other districts to start their own local cable shows. Instead, Rick Gullah, who deserves a round of applause. Rick, why don't you stand up? This man was fabulous. Rick, working in the communications department at MMS, got the MMS to sponsor a monthly show, dragging Jim Cousins out of retirement. Jim and Rick recruited other cable stations. Due to their efforts, Physician Focus reached over 2 million Massachusetts viewers. We produced over 100 shows before MMS abandoned the effort, feeling that they would rather invest in newer technologies. But, and here at Worcester District, after 200 shows, Health Matters is still going strong. Melissa produces and Frank Rocco still engineers. Has Frank engineered every show that we've done?
Yes, he has.
Every one of them. He couldn't be here tonight. They got him working. We're still using Tom Gager's music. Tom, show him who you are. ASCAP is going to get the royalties any day now. Our guest experts still comment that their patients say, "I saw you on TV." Lou is not familiar with my other side venture, town government. For 2 nights a week from 1984 to 1996 with my neighbor Bob Clark, I served on the Hopkinton Appropriations Committee, the last 3 years as chair. Evelyn offered me up as her service to the community. My family needed a respite from my parenting. When the chairman duties became too much, I ran for town moderator to de-escalate. It takes 1/10 of the commitment. That job was made easy by a wonderful town clerk, Ann Click, who's here with us tonight, and by generations of selectmen, best exemplified by my friend Mike Shepard, who's also here tonight. Just two of you, just show who you are. I went from 2 nights a week to 4 nights a year. It was more fun than work. I served from 1996 to 2016. My community of physicians is still my core. My highest honor is to be a member of this community. Dr. Hoig and Dr. Wolf and the St. Vincent Hospital residents keep me grounded in the work of fundamental importance, the daily practice of medicine. For you to recognize my hobbies is icing on the cake. So if your partner asks you to serve as a delegate to MMS, as my partner Lenny Morse did, join in. When side opportunities present, take an occasional plunge. Start as a member of the loyal followership until an idea presents that you want to champion. Your passion could become the community's passion. I followed Dick Agababian's vision for community immunity when he got sick. As his vice president, I was thrust into a leadership role before I knew I was ready for it. When you hit a chord with a community as diverse and intelligent as our community of physicians, run with it. Health matters endures. Find your idea and see who you can drag along. It's fun. Not all your ideas will fly. Rich Hass and I introduced a resolution to MMS to ask the state legislature to make insulin free. Didn't fly. We had the right idea. Bob Lebo and I introduced a resolution to make a healthcare proxy a condition of automobile licensure with the RMV to serve as the registry. That too went down in flames. But you all should keep trying. A. Jane Fitzpatrick would encourage you to pursue your outside passions. Thank you for this honor.
It's Mark. So our next award that we're giving out is the Worcester District Medical Society Career Achievement Award, which was established to honor a member of the society who had demonstrated compassion and dedication to the medical needs of patients and/or the public and has made significant contributions to the practice of medicine. And it's a really wonderful opportunity for us to honor someone who's just been mentioned by our other awardee, Dr. Karlin, Dr. Joel Popkin, who has been an incredible force in Worcester medicine and St. Vincent's Hospital in combining medical humanities and art, music. He does it all. And here to introduce him is our former president, Dr. Jane Lockery.
So this presentation is going to be a little different than what you are expecting. Usually the presenter comes up here and extols every single chair of a committee, all their awards, previous awards, all their publications, every job that they've ever had. Though I could go on for hours about that, I'm going to do it a little bit different tonight. I'm going to talk about Dr. Popkin, the person. So, but first I have to tell you why he was nominated. That's my job. So, Dr. Popkin is an exceptional physician with a distinguished background in internal medicine, with a specialty in, some of you younger people might not know about the specialty, it's called primary care medicine. Also, his background in medical education, mentoring, and caring for the underserved. He graduated from SUNY Downstate and saw the light shortly after there and moved to Worcester and did his residency at St. Vincent's Hospital. And he practiced at the then Fallon Clinic and now the Reliant Medical Group for 37 years. After retired from as program director, he was program director and associate program director for 20 years. And after that, he continued counseling and mentoring residents and helped the residents with their poster presentations, literature preparation, and other scholarly activities for 12 more years. This included coaching the residents in medical jeopardy, leading them on to several state championships and competing nationally. There's no question that Dr. Popkin is extremely intelligent and clinically skillful. Moreover, he consistently demonstrates significant poise, a high level of professionalism, exemplary teamwork, and superb humanistic qualities. He's gracious, caring, and talented, and a very special person with whom everybody enjoys working. So, some examples of Dr. Popkin as the person. I'm telling you these stories because a lot of Joel's success as a clinician, as a teacher, as a mentor, is largely in part of who he is. So if you ask me to describe Dr. Popkin in a few words, I would say effortlessly kind. So what do I mean by that? Well, these stories will tell you. So I first met Dr. Popkin when I was a sub-intern. It was my first day as a sub-intern at St. Vincent's Hospital. I admitted one of his patients, and my resident said, "Oh, do you want to call Dr. Popkin?" I said, "Oh, it's late. Don't you think we should wait till the labs come back?" And he said, "No. Dr. Popkin is one of these attendings that you call immediately and tell him that if there's anything abnormal in the labs that you were unexpected, that you'd call him back." He said, "There are other attendings we present, and then we call them back later on when the labs come back. But Dr. Popkin's the former." The next morning, when I went to write my note, Dr. Popkin had written at the bottom of my H&P, excellent H&P. And now, that's effortlessly kind. It didn't take 2 seconds, but it really did change my idea that I was planning on going to Boston to my residency. And I said, you know what? I really think I want to work with people like this. So another example is one of our nurses fell on hard times and was in danger of losing her house. And Dr. Popkin gave her several $1,000s to save her house. Now, I was a little bit reluctant to tell you this story because I was afraid that maybe he didn't tell his wife, Zenny. But then I said, you know, Zenny probably wrote the check. So his patients would call me all the time on the weekend with chest pain, active GI bleeding, and I'd have to beg them to go to the hospital because they was like, no, I'll just wait till Dr. Popkin gets back on Monday. You know, it's like, no, you can't do that. You have to go right now. And they'd say, and they'd threaten me. I have Dr. Popkin's telephone number, and he gave me his phone number, and I can call him at any time. And I said, I'd have to, convince them that this was the right thing to do. So residents from 25 years ago keep in touch with Dr. Popkin. They meet him at national meetings. And Joel and Zenny have been hosting the international exchange to students for over 30 years. It really takes a special person to open up your heart and your home to someone that you don't know. And my suspicion is Zenny did most of the work. Since Joel retired from the residency program in 2007, he's been volunteering every Tuesday night at the St. Anne's Free Medical Clinic. And as you heard, music has been his lifelong passion. Joel is a gifted pianist and a lifelong supporter of the performing arts, as reflected in his service from the Board of Directors and also the Executive Board of Worcester Music. So, in conclusion, Dr. Popkin has a gift for making everyone feel cared for. His demeanor exudes a love of medicine and a passion for patient care that is not really often seen. The science of medicine can be learned, and Dr. Popkin has done that very well, but the art of medicine comes from within, and that's where he excels. Dr. Popkin, congratulations. Thank you. I guess you have to get the award.
Wow, I was really worried that Jane was talking about the wrong person. I had a dream a couple of nights ago. We're all friends here, so I'll tell you about this. Very unusual. But I was standing right here, about to accept this wonderful award that you've bestowed upon me. And I looked down and I couldn't find any notes. And I said, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I looked down, and on my shirt, I had written the notes, and they were upside down, of course. And I said, well, should I take my shirt off? And you know, and luckily for me, and much more luckily for you, I woke up. So I didn't have to take off my shirt. But I did, at that point, write some notes. The next morning, I wrote some notes in terms of what I wanted to say. The first thing, of course, that I want to say is thank you so much to Jane Lockery. I'm not sure exactly how many years we've worked together, but I think it's getting to be near 40. And she has been an inspiration to me and to all of the rest of us here. Let me just get my notes. Okay. So I didn't quite know what to say about this Career Achievement Award. I really didn't. And it's really, really meaningful to me, although I hope I don't lose any of my good friends here at WDMS for saying this, but it's not quite as meaningful as 50 years ago when Zenny said yes. So in terms of what to say, I thought, okay, maybe I'll talk about guidelines. Guidelines are always great to talk about. But at my age, the only useful guideline I think I could even talk about would be, how do you get this award if you're really interested in doing it? And I don't think those guidelines have yet been published, so here goes. First, getting there is a dedicated, family, continuous, full court press project. For that, you need to find the world's best spouse and kids. I'm afraid this designation, though, has already been made, because that has to happen to someone in the world, and I've always said there's no reason why that can't be me. So Zenny, I have to say, is the most amazing person I've ever known. And she and my daughter Lee, my gorgeous daughter Lee, and Adam, and now their spouses and grandkids, have cheered me and inspired me along this whole marathon. And any monicum of recognition I've received in our community over all these years has been entirely from them. Second, you have to be old, in my case, very old, to qualify. So if you're 35, Just wait another 35 or 40 years, you'll be all set. Third, you get here from spending a lot of time in the community rather than being a kind of peripatetic practitioner, hoping that the next place you're going to practice will be the best place in the world, far better than where you've been. And, reality is you probably are not going to find that to be the case. The reality, for sure, is that Worcester District Medical Society is an amazing place. And the friendships that you collect over here are like no other. And you need to take part in the activities that happen in this place. These activities range from writing, from taking part in all sorts of activities, sharing all sorts of information, or simply working with others doing hobbies. Now, I'm actually not kidding about this. I actually just published an article on hobbies and the effect on burnout. And we interviewed 3,000 physicians, and in point of fact, there is really a mitigation of burnout by getting involved in hobbies. And hobbies are bona fide important for all of us. The linked socialization is even more important. And my mother always said, a smile never costs anything, and she made it to 100. Okay, fourth, we're getting there. Hang around young people. I've done that since decades ago when I first began working with our St. Vincent residents, UMass students. These are incredibly kind, bright, caring people. They're energetic. They inspire us. They really, really inspire us. How could they not? So spend time with them. Teach, learn, have some coffee, establish friendships, and extend your family. I've been occasionally accused of thinking young. I've never been accused of looking young, by the way, but I have been accused of thinking young. And the reason for this is because I hang around these young'uns, and their influence, some of them who have now been dear friends for more than 30 years, is just continuous learning, continuous stimulation. Only requires being in the same room with them. I think it has to do with osmosis, I think. Finally, spend a lot of time learning from our youngsters' mentors, who've all become my own mentors. You can't get here without the likes of Jane Lockery, George Abraham, Susan George, Tony Esposito, Michelle Pugnaire, Mike Hirsch, Gary Blanchard, Brandy Hoyk, Nitin Trivedi, Annie Abraham. I could stay here all night naming notables. But instead, many, many thanks to all of you. My family, colleagues, mentors, friends, plus anyone else who was polite enough not to fall asleep during this presentation. I deeply cherish this award. Thank you again.
So we've seen the extremes of wisdom tonight. You saw all our young scholarship winners who represent such a bright future for medicine, and these two gentlemen awardees whose collective wisdom and service and dedication is just inspirational. Still, every day I go to meetings where they attend, I learn something from them every time. So I want to thank the awards committee again for being so wise in choosing them as our main awardees tonight, but we have one more award to give. And this is another one that I think foreshadows a brilliant medical career. And it's a relatively new award. It's the Worcester District Medical Society Library Award. And it's given to a student who not necessarily has an economic need, but has shown academic brilliance and dedication to community service. And there's no more deserving student that I have ever met than Mina Botros. When we were facing our backs against the wall in 2021, the Operation Warp Speed had just delivered us some vaccinations. We were in a quandary as to how we were going to get needles in arms. That was basically our charge at the Department of Public Health. I was fortunate enough during the prior year, when we didn't have the vaccine yet, to work with Professor Jill Terrian of the Chan Ting Fen Graduate School of Nursing to come up with the idea of doing mass training in vaccination using graduate nursing students to train our first and second year medical students. And in all, we trained about 900 students over the next 18 months. And they were the backbone of our ability to give out vaccinations, first at the Worcester Senior Center, then at the Worcester State University Gymnasium, and also with Dr. Castile's equity efforts to do roving clinics all over Worcester, including the public library and the Y. You need a point person to organize the troops. And, you know, we didn't have a paid position to do that, but we had Mina. And Mina organized that vaccine corps and got the right people in the right places and did it tirelessly, did it for nothing. Well, not for nothing. He did it for the good of the world, but we didn't give him a dime. So it's a great honor to see him receive this award. And by the way, I'm representing Dr. Sorrenti tonight, who couldn't be here, but I hope I did him justice because he's much smarter and nicer than me. But Dr. Hallett is going to be presenting future Dr. Botros. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that introduction to Mina. And I'm grateful for it because I am limited in how much I can speak tonight due to my voice. If I had more strength in my voice, I could speak for a long time about how wonderful Mina is. I am a general internist at UMass Memorial, and in my role as an educator and mentor, it has been my privilege to get to work with Mina over these last 4 years. I will not speak as much about his vaccine efforts as that has been covered, but I would also just want to draw briefly everyone's attention to his work with the Worcester Free Care Collaborative as well. Mina has had a transformative presence in helping improve the care for some of our community's most vulnerable and needy patients, our uninsured and underinsured. And beyond his efforts for which he has been awarded, many wonderful awards, including this one tonight, which I'm so honored to present to him. On top of that, he's truly a humble, generous, and wonderful person. And I want to say that if we are looking towards the future of medicine, we are in good hands with Mina. I'm so honored to have gotten to work with him and to be presenting this award. Mina, if you would not mind coming up.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much for coming here today. And really thank you for the honor that it's been to be included among so many incredible people. Before I go any further, however, I do want to give a special thanks to both Melissa and Martha for everything they've done to make sure that we all got here today, that we're able to celebrate in person, bring everything back to the community feel that we once lost, as many of you rightfully remember. So Melissa, Martha, thank you all so much. So oddly enough, I was actually kind of shocked to hear so many good things about me, because the last time that Laura presented me to a group of individuals, I was more so described as the epitome of blissful chaos or something along those lines.
Cautionary tale, I think.
A cautionary tale. So for those of you who don't know too much, I have kind of just made my own path throughout med school. I've had some incredible mentors who have really made all of that possible, and without them, I don't think I would have been here. And without all of Laura's very kind and generous time that she's given me while I was exploring things that maybe didn't seem like they were initially going to work out, including the year off I took to help out with the COVID ventures, none of this would be possible without such a wonderful group behind me. And honestly, I had a few things that I wanted to talk about today, but we've already had some incredible speakers. I've had to cross off things like, yep, that was covered. We all know, yep, community, important, good. Everybody's all on the same page, and that's what we love to see in a group like ours here at the WDMS. But even beyond that, I want to reflect a little bit, as I've been doing throughout this interview trail, looking forward to residency, about everything that we've been through. And as you've heard, a lot of what brought me up to this point right now was as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. And as much as it's been wonderful to be a part of such a truly incredible opportunity to bring care to people who really needed it, we do also have to remember that it was a particularly dark time for so many people. It was a difficult time. We've lost many individuals in our community. But again, I think the most important thing is it showed us that we can do so much when we come together. We can do so much when we say something's going on that doesn't feel quite right, and we want to make a difference. And there's nothing that's shown to me the ingenuity and the caring of individuals as our COVID-19 response. In much the same way, I think that we really came together and found a purpose. I'm planning on going into psychiatry, and one thing that I find more valuable than just about anything else when I talk to a patient is this idea of finding purpose. And I'm surrounded now with individuals who have found purpose in helping people, found purpose in medicine, found purpose in caring for the next generation, educating, whatever it might be. And I hope that you all look around and just appreciate just how incredible the people in this room are today. Beyond that, I think the biggest thing for me was finding your motivation. Find what really moves you. Take a shot. You might miss, and that's okay. But the big thing is just knowing that even if you do, you're still going to be you the next day. You're still going to have the people around you, whether it's your mentors, the people over at DPH, Health and Human Services, whoever it might be who helps you on these ventures. Give it a shot and see what happens. But remember to do it with others. Do it together. And beyond that, I think one of the biggest things that we could do for each other, and it seems like it's not quite as much when you hear about all of the incredible things that so many of our members have done today, is just inspire each other with kindness. Say thank you. Invite someone to the park with you. Say, hey, I'm going to go check this out. Why don't you come with me? That's where we build these communities. That's where we build the caring and the trust that we've honored in medicine for so long. And at the end of all of this, I really do have to say thank you to so many people. I could keep you here for hours and hours. I could have written a whole list. I, in fact, started to type one up and said, I'll spare them for the night. It's already going to be relatively long. But there are a handful that I absolutely have to thank today. First and foremost, my parents who are sitting at the table in the back there with me today. I don't think I would have been able to accomplish anything in this world had I not known that I had them as a safety net. When I took a venture that maybe wasn't guaranteed, knowing that the worst case scenario is I go home and I hang out with my parents, was a really nice way to say that, there's always a backup plan. There's always people who care for you. My brother, my sister, Laura, Jane Lockery, Dr. Passy, for everything you've done to make sure that the Worcester Free Care Collaborative is what it is today. Dr. Hirsch, Maddie Castile, for everything you did to make sure that we got vaccines in arms, that our community was cared for, and we really made a big difference during a time where we needed to make a big difference. Beyond that, everyone who volunteered along our sides, without a doubt, none of us did anything in our careers, much less myself, on our own. At no point did I submit my CV and say, I did this by myself, and I did that by myself. No. By our sides at all times were people who came in with us, who volunteered with us, who gave their time, their effort, and their companionship. Dr. Punier, I saw you earlier today. In fact, I was drinking out of the mug that I got at the DR this morning, and thinking of you and everything that you've done to influence how I've practiced medicine, been truly an inspiration, has been incredible. And Dr. Becky Spinagle, you as well, just everything that you embody and the way that you carry yourself, the way that you care about people, changes the way that all of us ought to practice medicine. And beyond that, I just want to say thank you to everyone here at WDMS and extend true thanks, genuinely, for honoring me tonight. I appreciate you all.
So now I think I have the honor of presenting our president, Giles Whalen.
We have maybe not so much as an award, but as a present to one of our members who is stepping away from a job that he's been doing for many, many years and doing it remarkably well, really on behalf of the scholarship committee. You want to say a few more words? You can ad lib.
Well, we haven't said who it is yet, right?
No, we haven't.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a hint. The initials are KK. Does that ring a bell?
Maybe you should just say it.
All right. Ken Kronlund, we are going to miss you so much, and I'm going to have to break the good news and the bad news. The good news is that Ken is finally going to have more free time to go skiing and spend time in Maine and sit in a rocking chair and just enjoy life. The sad news is that he's stepping down from his role as trustee of the Scholarship Fund, and there's no way that I or anyone else affiliated with this organization can thank you, but I think you reached the pinnacle of your kindness, which is another K, and knowledge, which is another K, in managing the Scholarship Fund and doing it with such grace and compassion. Does he ever get angry? I don't know where it goes. Never frustrating, busy in the clinic, always making time, and really believing in equity, fairness, and also transparency. He will always tell you how he feels. And I'll say, I disagree, but we can agree to disagree. And I've learned to respect him and learn from the way he manages himself in situations that can be trying and challenging, and just sailing through those smooth waters. So Ken, you've been an inspiration and a role model. We will miss you terribly, but we know you're not physically leaving, like you're going to be sticking around, and there's going to be a 911 KK situation where we can reach you. And finally, to announce that right behind Dr. Sadev Pasi, who will be stepping into Ken's shoes, we have a wonderful new trustee that will be ascending to the leadership role in the scholarship committee, and that's none other than Dr. Pasi. So they really are a team. And I don't know if this was a surprise, Ken, or not, because you're far too modest. You probably weren't expecting this. But do you want to take the mic back?
No,
Okay.
I think you're doing great.
Oh, you
Why don't we?
So the problem is, see that chair? It should have been right here. Right? But we really tried our very best. And all I can say is, Martha, She went right to the top of this organization. I don't know, and she gave them a piece of her mind, and they still wouldn't budge. But it's in the mail, right, Martha? Sort of? So I'm going to actually pass this to Martha, because what we were going to get you, we went all over the place. And then when we finally found this rocking chair, we knew it was the right fit. And I think we got a little bit of help from people at home, but I'm not sure exactly how you figured it out. Martha, do you want to come and share the chair saga? Why not? We wouldn't be here with this chair if it wasn't for Martha. Go ahead.
Well, I do have to admit, Sue Kronlund helped, and the wives always help, don't they? So anyhow, the spouses help. The chair is on its way. I'm sorry that's not here tonight, but the inscription at the top, if you can't read it, Kenneth H. Kronlund Jr., MD, in recognition of 20 years of distinguished service and dedication as a trustee of the Scholarship Fund of the Worcester District Medical Society, with deepest gratitude from the WDMS membership and the medical student recipients of our WDMS Scholarship Awards on tonight's date, November 15th, 2023. Thank you, Ken. I don't know if you want to come up and say a few words. I know you weren't expecting this, so. When the chair arrives, I'll be bringing it to your home, so.
You can, certainly you should say a word, Ken. We all felt, we always felt more comfortable when Ken was in charge.
So the beauty of if you don't expect this, you don't go and write the speech ahead of time, and so you only talk for like 30 seconds. First I want to go and say to Jane Lockery, who I think nominated me for this back 20-odd years ago, I hope I did live up to your expectations. The whole idea behind the Scholarship Committee is really to remember those who went before us, and we have great leaders and clinicians and physicians who we remember tonight by those names of the awards that we gave. And when I look at all those people out there who got awards tonight, I'm inspired by the people who will follow us, and frankly, I'm gratified and optimistic about the future of medicine. So thank you very much for this, and congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
So now it's my job to end the evening and adjourn the meeting. It's been really wonderful. I mean, I think tonight demonstrates, what great people we have here, how long and dedicated they serve us, and the power of ideals, which is liberally distributed to this blessed group. So. I think it's really wonderful. Congratulations to Dr. Popkin, Dr. Karlin, and all of the awardees tonight. But it's wonderful to be back. And I would say good night, good luck, and thank you.